going to do today is we're going to prep a 20-pound prime rib for Christmas dinner. Okay, first we're going to do is get a nice clean work area. Lay out your saran wrap, stretch it out. Get your meat all clean, dried. You don't want any water on it or anything after getting it prepped. And then set it down here on your saran wrap, and then we'll go ahead. And I'll get back with you. We'll get it prepped out on the seasoning and stuff like that. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Okay, Master Chef's here going to show us how this is done.
Right. One, slice your throat. No. Take your knife, starting off with, to take this particular piece of, I guess you would call this backstrap, or it's something you don't want to eat, and some people do it, some people don't. But you get it off easily. You get a paper towel once you start it, and it helps you grab it to start pulling it off. And basically what you're doing is the same way you do with spare ribs. You want to be able to pull this off, because it's not good eating, and it really doesn't do anything.
Does it add bad flavor to the meat?
No, it's just tough on your teeth, and it just doesn't. It's something you just want to do. Do you want to chew on that?
No, obviously not.
And it doesn't give you any flavor. Plus, you can also take some of the excess fat off of this that you don't need. But that particular, I guess you call it
Backstrap, right?
Membrane.
There you go. Just as simple as that. And it cleans it up for you.
Probably allows a lot of the flavoring of your seasoning to get in there a little bit.
Well, it helps. I can't say it does, it doesn't, but it helps. But it's the same way you do with your spare ribs. Your spare ribs have the same thing. Some people do it, some people don't. But to me, it's and you want to keep your meat dry. Okay? You wonder, well, why is that?
Well, so the seasoning sticks to it,
well,
better, right?
not only seasoning stick to it, when you start cooking it, you're not boiling your meat. Moisture boils meat instead of steams it. Now the top of you can take some of this excess fat off that you don't really need, because it's got plenty. And it all depends on your cut. And it really, some people leave it. I don't like to leave too much on it, but because there's plenty up here. You just take your knife and make some diagonal cuts through the fat. And what that does is it helps render the fat, but also accept the seasoning that you put in it.
Just checker box it.
Right, just checker box it, but don't go deeper than your fat, or try not to. Okay, so you end up with something that looks like that. Now when you get it from the butcher, it depends on if you get it boneless, boned, but a lot of times, most of the time, the ribs will be detached already. But this came cryovac right out of the bag, so it's up to you to do that. And you always want to do that, because when you carve it, you don't want to carve through bone. So what you do, just start right here, right at the bone itself, right at the rib bone. Take your knife, and little by little, just use the bone
as your guide.
To guide, correct. And take it all the way through. And it really is a simple, and this is what your butcher does. That's why after the holidays you can buy prime rib bones.
Right.
They'll have a crap load of bones because it's a separation from the boneless ribeye that they sell. And that's all this is a ribeye steak made into a ribeye roast. Now, if you like ribeye,
You like the roast.
these are the holidays. You can buy this at probably 50% cheaper than a ribeye steak. And all you got to do is make your steaks out of it.
Right.
You can do it with the bone in or bone out. Anyway, you just follow the
bone down.
Follow the bone down. Have a sharp knife is essential. If you don't have a sharp knife, let the butcher do it. Some people say, "Oh, with a sharp knife, I cut myself." But a dull knife is more dangerous
Than a sharp knife.
than a sharp knife. If you can see what I'm doing here, just fillets it. And it comes right out. Now, some people will leave it like this
Count on you.
and then
Close it back
close
up.
it back up. But the problem is when it's hot, you got to take it apart. So I take it off completely.
And we'll just string it tight
Correct.
on.
And then basically all it does is, boom, just
Down.
like that. Okay? This is it. Oh, I was going to take this out, but that's all right. Sometimes there's excess fat inside that you might want to take out. Other than that, that's it.
Okay.
Now, the next thing you do with this is literally salt. Grab the salt.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to salt it. This big piece of meat needs salt. Up high,
Spreads it out
Right here.
more evenly when you go higher.
That's right.
Drop it from higher up.
okay, good. Grab the pepper.
So it helps to have two people because one has meat hands and the other doesn't.
Now go ahead and take it out. Take it, pull it out, and just grind it right over the deal. Literally pepper the
Crap out of it.
crap out of it. Grind it the other way. There you go. There you go. It comes out good. It comes out
The
good.
old coffee grinder.
Yeah.
Turkish coffee grinder makes a great pepper grinder.
Okay. And what we've done is made up a little paste. And this paste is everything from garlic, horseradish, rosemary, thyme, olive oil, salt and pepper. Put it in a little blender and you just make a paste and literally
Rub it on.
rub it on. And I do this at least a day ahead of time. And it really helps. And you can do it 2 days ahead of time, but you got to wrap it really, really good. So let's do it on both sides. So you got a nice coat. And a lot of people will poke holes in the meat, stick garlic in it. But you got to remember, if you poke holes in meat, what happens?
Drains.
It drains all of the juice out, or it will drain all the juice
And
out.
actually let more heat in that area too. You'll get maybe a brown spot.
But yeah, I would just do exactly what we got here, and you close it up. Just like that. Boom. We get
What we have here is just, it's 100% cotton, butcher string. We got 6 fairly good long pieces of string here
or however many you need. Normally you put one
per
per bone or in between bone string. Just measure one. Better have longer string than shorter string.
Okay.
And have them pre-cut so they're easy to install or to place. I'll show you a quick deal and then George will take care of the rest of it. So you slide one under and you put the knot at the top where your top of your rib is and make a couple of Don't just do one. If you do more, tuck them under more
It'll
than
stay
one,
strong.
it'll stay tight. And do it as tight as you can do it. Work it around, and then tie another double knot. Okay, I'll do another one.
Okay.
Just slide under it. Good.
Yeah.
Make sure, we gotta make sure the other side is equal. Go ahead, that's all right. But do this knot right up here. There you go.
Okay, I got you.
There you go. And then cut the excess. There you go.
Okay, I'm going to finish this up and then we'll be back on the final wrap up. Thanks.